It's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so let's discuss this because there wasn't a whole lot to discuss when it came to the subject of Vergil Ortiz versus Vergil because Tony Weeks stepped in and stopped the fight in the first round. Some would deem it prematurely, some would deem it correct. I thought it was a little premature, but that's just me. But the real main part of the fight, the thing that really stole the headlines from Vergil Ortiz's main event wasn't the main event itself. It was actually what he said in the post-fight interview. He was very respectful, but very clear, very concise, and very direct about what his intentions are in the junior middleweight division. And those intentions, as he clearly stated, were the fact that he wants to fight Tszyu. He wants to make the mega fight with Tszyu, a big fight with Tszyu. And Oscar De La Hoya even stepped in and said that they'll be willing to go to Australia to do it. Now, as you guys can see above my left shoulder, these are tweets from Tszyu to Vergil Ortiz themselves. So Tszyu on the bottom, as you can see, he says, "Yo, Vergil Ortiz, welcome to the 54 Club. I'm always keen for a modern day classic." Vergil then responded to Tszyu by stating the following, and I quote, "I knew you would be, man. Let's do it." So not a whole lot of talking, not a whole lot of hooting and hollering, not a bunch of A-side, B-side, negotiation BS. Just two serious, badass warriors willing to fight anyone and make the biggest, best, and most dangerous fights happen in their weight classes. So look, man, I'm going to say it like this. Not only do I think that Vergil Ortiz versus Tszyu is the best fight that you can make at 154 right now, I also think it is one of the top 5 to 10 best matchups you can make in the entire sport of boxing. And I'm going to explain to you guys why. I think their styles mesh very, very well. Starting with Vergil Ortiz, I've said it many times, I'll say it again, and I'll say it probably anytime I talk about him because it's the truth, and it needs to be stated and highlighted more when people talk about Vergil Ortiz. Vergil Ortiz has one of the best power jabs in the business. Great jab, world-class jab, impeccable balance. He's able to stay on balance while he's throwing punches, and he has a great, amount of stamina, so he's able to throw a lot of punches in a very quick succession and in a compact style. So that's why he's getting a lot of these stoppages. That's not that he's just loading up on everything. It's the fact that his fundamentals are just so amazing and so consistent fight by fight. That's what's getting these knockouts. It's not so much the power itself. It's the technique. It's the power jab. It's the balance. It's all those things together. That blend of skills and attributes, right? So you have that on one side. Then you have Tszyu, who I think in the last year or two has grown exponentially as far as the styles he's seen with fighting guys like Tony Harrison and Brian Mendoza. I think Tszyu showed an amazing ability to make adjustments. He showed himself to be someone that has a great gas tank in his own right. He's shown himself to be someone that can be the aggressive counterpuncher. And he's shown himself to be someone that, much like a Vergil Ortiz, he has a big mean streak. Outside the ring, nicest guy in the world, the salt of the earth, great person, right? But in that ring, a stone cold killer, just like his father was. And with all due respect to the great Tszyu, I think Tim has made quite a name for himself in boxing, and I think that he's his own man now. He's not just Tszyu's son anymore. He's Tim Tszyu. Like he said, what's my MFing name? So I think this fight's one of the best fights that can be made in boxing because this fight's one of the most violent fights that could be made in boxing. I think with this fight, you could expect nothing but guaranteed fireworks. And then when you look at and you survey the entire landscape at 154, there really isn't a whole lot out there for either of these guys. Jermell Charlo, who knows what he's going to do? He don't look like he's too motivated by boxing anymore now that the Canelo check and wire transfer cleared. So who knows what's going to happen with him. But I would love this fight to happen as soon as possible. Tszyu's manager, Glenn Jennings, did confirm via Twitter. I did see tweets and quotes from Glenn Jennings. Shout out to the brother Glenn Jennings. I had a chance to meet and interview him one time. Great person, great manager. One of the good guys in boxing, that Glenn Jennings. Glenn stated that he would love to have Vergil Ortiz fight Tszyu, and they'd be happy to accommodate him with a fight date to make the fight happen. So I'm going to tell you guys like this. Maybe Vergil Ortiz gets one more fight at 154 so he can really get some rounds and really get his feet fully wet in the division because that Frederick Lawson fight was nonsense. He may need another fight to get, at least 3 to 4 to 6 rounds in. But then after that, I think there will be no safety on either one of these guys' proverbial Glocks. They're going to go fight each other. And I think this fight is what boxing needs. This fight's what the 154 division needs. And look, I know Oscar said that they'd be willing to go to Australia because Tszyu such a big star out there. I think in this scenario, like, all respect to Vergil, I know Vergil is Mexican-American, and Mexican fighters are normally used to being the A side in these kind of fights because Mexicans do come out and support their fighters. But in this case, this is a unique case. I think Tszyu is the A side in this fight, and I think this fight would be as big as it could possibly be if and only if the fight is in Australia. Just being honest, I think the fight is the biggest it could possibly be if it's in Australia. Now, I'm sure if the money's right, Tszyu would have zero problems coming to the States and fighting Vergil. I know Tim has expressed a desire to have a big fight in Las Vegas. That fight was supposed to be against Jermell Charlo, but Jermell Charlo hasn't wanted any smoke and has made every excuse in the world to not fight Tszyu. So maybe this winds up being that fight for Tszyu. Maybe this winds up being the fight that they could have at a great, nice, prestigious venue like, you know, the Mandalay Bay or something like that. I don't know if this fight's quite MGM grand caliber. It all depends on, I think, how many Australians will come out for the fight and things like that. But either way you cut it up, slice it and dice it, I think Tszyu hit the nail right on the head with the three words he used at the end of his tweet, which is modern day classic. I think this fight has the makings of a true modern day classic, a modern day war. You don't really get more destructive and dangerous than Tszyu and Vergil Ortiz in this weight class. And the way I see it, there is no better fight to make. I mean, there's some good fighters in the division. You got Spence, which I think is unrealistic because he's going to fight Crawford. You got guys like Brian Mendoza, who I think would make for good TV fights. But as far as from a competitive standpoint, as far as style-wise, style clash-wise, and for what both guys have achieved in the sport so far and the performances they've given, I just don't see a fight at 54 better than Tszyu versus Vergil Ortiz. So I love the way both of them are acting. I like this kind of behavior from fighters. I don't like the whole back and forth, and I don't like that rah-rah stuff. Just like, make the fights happen. Do what you got to do. And behave like gentlemen, behave like bosses, and give the paying customers, the fight fans, what they want to see. And what fight fans, I believe, from what I gathered on my live and seeing the reaction on social media, what I believe fight fans want to see at 154 right now, at this present moment in time, is one of the best power jabs in the sport. Vergil Ortiz from Grand Prairie, Texas. They want to see him take on, the son of a legend, a man that's separated himself from his dad and became his own man in the sport, carving out his own legacy in the sport. One of the man with one of the meanest streaks in boxing right now, Tszyu. Love the fight, love everything about it, love everything that these two gentlemen represent about the sport of boxing, and I hope it can get done quickly and swiftly. Hopefully, I'm thinking third or fourth quarter of 2024. So, yeah. Let me know what you guys think about Vergil Ortiz and Tszyu and their little interaction in the comments down below. Who do you favor and why? And yeah, like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable Tszyu Sports Empire. We're here at the Hatanaka Boxing Gym in Nagoya, Japan. And for more great videos just like this one, make sure you guys click right here.